Hey, how's it going, everybody? Brad the Guitologist here, and in this video we're going to check out this flea market that a guy messaged me about the other day. He messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, there's a gear flea market in downtown Louisville you might want to check out this weekend. So yeah, my niece was in town with her friend, and I grabbed my daughter and we all hopped in the car and headed over to see this thing. A lot of the stuff was outdoors. It was really freaking hot. Luckily though, all the music gear was indoors. Today's video is sponsored by Native Sons Goods, makers of the highest quality woven guitar, bag, and camera straps you'll ever see. Native Sons straps are handmade one at a time in the USA with unparalleled love and care. Click the link in the description to check out their new expanded lineup featuring all new 3-inch guitar straps. And remember, when you support my sponsor, you support this channel, and I sure appreciate it. First things first, we wanted to swing by a Goodwill store because her friends needed some new shoes. They were pretty busted up. They had gone to the Louder Than Life festival, and her shoes were in very poor shape, I guess after the beating they took, so we wanted to get some of those. While I was in there, I found this thing, and it's just pretty incredible. Check this out. Yeah, this is just a really nice old Edison, and the cabinet is in surprisingly good shape. A lot of times when you find these things, man, they're in really, really poor shape. The cabinet especially. But this one was in very nice shape. As you can see there, Victor Talking Machine Company, Camden, New Jersey. And there's the VV400 model number and a serial number there on that little placard. Look at all the brass on this thing, though. I mean, they just don't make stuff like they used to. Had a needle even. And you can see there on the little diaphragm, it's even got the Victrola logo on that. More brass there. Just brass fittings everywhere. They just really went all out on these things, man. But that little lever right there is what sets the platter in motion. I wanted to check that that worked. I did not end up buying this thing, unfortunately. I just, I didn't have a way to get it home. Once again, it's just another matter of me finding something really cool at a Goodwill. What does that say, $149 or $199? But look at that, though. They stuck that sticker right on the top. That's so dumb. Just, come on, guys, at Goodwill. You could do better than that. Just put it anywhere else. That tape will take off the finish. But anyway, so we headed out to this flea market. They had a bunch of other stuff as well. But like I said, it was extremely hot outside this day. Luckily, they had some vendors out for food and drinks. But yeah, inside in this basketball gym is where they had most of the good stuff that we're after here. You can see a nice big hammered dulcimer there. You don't see a lot of hammered dulcimers, but usually when you do, it's kind of impossible to test them out because they're usually out of tune and neglected. I don't know how to play one anyway, so it's not like it matters. But right away, my eye goes to that little Ibanez pedal. You can see there it's an early 80s analog delay. It's from the original run of Ibanez pedals. Does that work?
Yeah.
How much?
That's like 250. Those are like go for a lot these days. Normally 350.
Yeah, if we look on reverb.com, he's not too far off. 250 is a little bit closer to the median of what these things go for, it looks like. You can see some outliers at like 350, but, and 550 even. But I think they're kind of dreaming. But, yeah, I think 250 is probably all the money, so there's really nothing in that for me. Immediately my eye went to that custom 250 right there. That's actually the first amplifier I ever attempted to repair. My buddy had one of those. Cool little Sovtek. That's a MiG 100 right there. Those are really nice little amplifiers after some work. There's a Roland down there as well. I like that Yamaha.
Yeah, it's a cool piece. Upgraded basically everything about it.
Oh, this is a reissue one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah. Yeah, they originally made those back in the 60s.
Yep, sure did. They had a great job doing pickups.
Yeah. Yeah, here you can see one of the original 60s ones that I was talking about. Different pickups and everything, though. What's this? Some kind of custom?
Yeah, it's just kind of a parts build. It's kind of cool.
It's like an 80s harmony that you customized.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
It's a 70s Epiphone that I turned into a bass 6.
Yeah. Was this originally a guitar body?
Bass.
Oh, that's the bass body. Okay, I was gonna say it seems a bit long for that.
Short scale. They actually made a guitar with that.
Yeah, like the Kurt Cobain model.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain made one. Yeah, played one.
What are you holding there? What is it?
No, it's a Mexican, special double humbucker.
Right.
Basically, that doesn't have a rhythm circuit. It's got a kill switch, and it's got a blends for the one of the coils in both humbuckers.
Right.
So you can get a coil split, go and get a little different tone. Or get the humbucker tone or the single coil tone.
Oh, okay. So you just fade between them.
Yeah, you can blend it, so it's, you can be a little more subtle with your hum cancellation versus tonal variations.
That's cool.
Yeah, so all sorts of pickups.
Yeah, that's a good.
Wow, Dad.
Instead of the old Marzio.
This is your kind of place.
Yep.
It's your kind of place.
These sound really good. Usually.
You had to rewind that one to go ahead and get coil in.
Did you?
This is a super distortion they made for Ibanez, so it's unbranded.
Right.
Let's take a Rio Grande barbecue. It's kind of like
Are these like batteries or something?
No, these are pickups.
they're transducers.
Yep.
It's a 70s tarback. It's kind of cool.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
some of my favorite pickups.
I worked for Gibson for 2 years.
You did?
I worked in their pickup department for a year, and I made this custom Dirty Fingers when I was there.
Oh, right on.
Oh, look at that.
That's
Look
cool.
at Doug. Look at Doug.
Izzy, stop. What do you got to have out of that?
I'll probably ask like 150 for it.
150?
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Really good condition. These are Massimoco humbuckers, and
Yeah.
looks like they've
Have like a 70s copy.
Gallons of sweat poured on them.
Yeah. Is that a tenor?
Yes, I made this
Oh, right on.
guitar from scratch. It's a tenor convertible.
That's cool.
It's actually 2 pickups. Got a piezo and an electromagnet in it. And
that's
it's got a stereo out,
Yeah.
so you can kind of. It's got a D feed in it, so you can turn the piezo on or off. And basically, you run the stereo jack to a splitter.
Izzy, here, you film.
Okay.
Do you mind if I plug that in? It's hard. It's weird. It's because of the scale. It's like I'm thinking mandolin, but I'm like, the scale's not out.
Just trying to film for his channel, so I wouldn't do that too much.
Don't look at him. Look at Doug.
What's on piezo just then, or was on?
Electromagnet.
Okay. I was gonna say it sounded like.
The piezo doesn't function unless you have a stereo cable.
Okay.
It's on a different channel.
That's really cool, dude. I like that. What'd you make the neck from?
It's just a piece of what is it? Oak. Piece of white oak.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a table leg or you found or something, or. I like that a lot. That's really cool. What are you asking for that thing? 3. That's very reasonable.
Yeah, it's a prototype. I mean, it's got its warts, but you know.
So yeah, moving along to another one of these booths here. The music they were playing in the background, I was afraid I was going to get copyright strikes, so I figured I would just voice over on this part. That's I'm not sure what that telly was all about, but that's an older Alvarez. I think he wanted a little bit too much for a couple of these things. Sorry about the bad camera work in here. Good Lord. Not sure what that is from, but that's definitely from some old recorder, like a reel-to-reel maybe, something like that. Could be like an old Electro-Voice mic, perhaps. That I thought was old at first because of the handle. They've actually done a pretty good job lately of recreating those handles, but that's not. It's a newer Crosley. But you see what I mean, that handle right there. That's an older 50 style suitcase handle that they started putting on those. This Philco is kind of interesting. Lollipop metal microphones and speaker. So that would have been something like you would have sat on your desk for intercom system, perhaps. For $65 is, you know, more than I wanted to take a punt on. Pretty cool little vintage kids drum set right there. I didn't take it out or anything, but it looked like it might be kind of cool set up. And right away, that also caught my eye right over there. You could see that Japanese violin type guitar. Also another custom amp back there hiding. And anytime you can get cases for a decent price, you know, if this case right here, the vintage case, I'll pick it up in 1 second. Yeah, this vintage crocodile case right here, had this been, you know, closer to you know, $20 or less, maybe $15, I might have snatched it up. But for $45, it can stay. Plus, I don't think it had a handle on it, so. You see a little Lisa's drum machine right there. I had one of those in the past, that little drum machine. Made some demos on it years and years ago. Now that's a cool older Crosley, that radio right there. It's probably from the 40s. If I had to venture a guess, I'd say 1946, because they made so many radios in 1946 for the returning troops. It's like more radios, I think, made in 1946 than any other year. This was a neat little Electro-Voice microphone as well, a Cardax from the 40s. The problem is it's a crystal mic, so odds of it working are pretty slim. Yeah, most crystal microphones, they just the crystal deteriorates. You have to do some servicing on something like this usually to get it to work.
Good. Flat 2. Barada. Nicto. Flat 2. Barada. Nicto.
But yeah, check out the scroll headstock on that thing right there. Really nice fretboard as well. It's definitely some kind of, probably $60 he wanted for that thing. Probably Brazilian rosewood. Heck, the neck is probably worth the $60 he was asking. But it looked like he didn't have any of the electronics. I did end up leaving it. Right now, I'm just, I'm kind of strapped for cash, if I'm honest, so I don't really have, room for another parts guitar. That looks like an old K, at least judging by the pickup. But he has it listed as an unknown steel. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a K. And right away, this thing caught my eye. It's an old Fender Music Master bass. You can see that it's been stripped. The electronics have been changed. The pick guard has been changed. But we can see right there the serial number was a 286 serial number. If we plug that into one of the serial number finders, we can see it's 1969 or early 1970, made in Fullerton, which is about what I suspected. But look at the patina on that headstock and the neck. Just a really cool patina on that. It's a shame that it's been stripped and everything, but you know, it is what it is. He wasn't asking the moon for it, which they're not worth a lot anyway, but. Hey man, are these yours?
Yeah.
What's up with the Music Master?
I got 6 on it.
6? What year is it, you know?
It's mid-70s. They made it from 71 to 77.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the earlier ones. My brother has a later one. It's got a little different headstock.
I was gonna say because these don't look like, those look earlier. The
I'm not sure.
tuners.
I'm not exactly sure what it is. It does look earlier than 70s. It looks earlier than 71. It looks kind of, headstock should increase EDM.
What do you want on this?
Yeah, 100 on that. I got 130 on that. It's better.
So it turned out this thing was a really cool microphone. This is a 1950s A-Static Model 77 dynamic mic. And there was definitely some meat on the bone on that thing. For 130 bucks he was asking. A lot of them I saw were going upwards of $3. And right there you can see I've spotted something cool. You saw the price there for 35 bucks. Looks like maybe he bought it for 25. Probably at a Goodwill, I would say, because that's kind of their style of price tag. But yeah, if you look online, this was definitely a really good buy at 35 bucks. I mean, all the ones that I saw were about this price, about 240, 250 bucks. They were all like $200 and above. Interesting, they stuck a lace sensor pickup in this one as well. I would probably yank that out and sell that separately and put something closer to the original, style pickup in it if it was mine. Old Japanese bass right there, I think, and an old Japanese archtop. The archtop was actually kind of cool. It's an Electra. By the logo, that's a weird Electra. Yeah. What are you asking on it? So he said this thing was 1930s, but I believe it's probably a bit earlier, probably 1920s, just due to the logo saying The Gibson. It's a UB1 model, and he was asking pretty much all the money on it, though, unfortunately. It did have the little case with it, though. And this thing I thought was old at first, just from first glance, because it had a lot of patina on the pickup rings. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but it just looks really old. So I had to pick it up to see what it is, and as soon as I turned it around, I was like, no, not old. So after we left the flea market, we went down to 21C, which is a hotel in downtown Louisville, to check out some of the artwork in their art gallery. They usually have some pretty cool stuff. They kind of they change quite often there, so you can always see some pretty neat artwork installations, and this was one of them that I thought was particularly interesting. It's kind of a commentary, it looks like, on just the throwaway culture and all of our e-waste that we kind of dump on places in the third world. And you know, you'll see videos and stuff online where you have all these kids and they're like in these open fire pits and stuff, and they're like burning all the electronics, trying to retrieve precious metals and trying to retrieve whatever they can out of it, lead and, you know, all these different metals. And I think this is a commentary on all the sicknesses that they go through. You know, you've got these plants kind of growing out of what looks like old sockets. Entire local economies are based on this stuff, and it's kind of sad because, you know, they're doing the best they can, but it's also a real bane on the environment, the way that they try to burn all this stuff. Part of what drives me and what I do too, I try to salvage a lot of old electronics rather than throw the stuff away where I can. You know, obviously you can't save everything, but you try to do what you can and try to have some respect for the environment. You know, I'm not a huge tree hugger or anything like that, but it doesn't take one to really understand what we're doing to the world when we recycle things in this manner, and we do this to people. You can see the classroom right there, just right outside of where they're doing their work, and you know, the kids are all exposed to this stuff and they run around on the garbage piles. And I think this is a different piece, but it's kind of by the same artist, and it's these rats, they're playing video games. And there's a Christmas tree in the corner, I guess, with all the new stuff and the KFC buckets. And you know, I don't know exactly what they're trying to say here, but maybe they're trying to say something along the lines of, you know, the consumers are like the rats, or I don't even know. But I just thought it was kind of neat the way they incorporated all these broken pieces of electronics and all this e-waste into this artwork. So yeah, that'll do it. I appreciate you guys watching, and for now, y'all take care.